Today, I will show you how you do the 4-to-6 mastermind formula, which I've practiced and honed over the last 25, 26 years. And today I will tell you exactly what you will do, and you will walk away with a great plan so you can do the same. Stay put. Today, I will actually take you behind the scenes on how I plan to do it. I have lined up 4 real people that's going to be in a mastermind group together for the first time. And I'm going to take him through the paces. So pay close attention because I'm taking you through the paces at the same time. All right, if you know already now that you'd like to know a little bit more about this, there's a link for you right in the description that you can click on. So go there right now. If not, continue watching and I'll teach you more. So I'm going to obviously communicate with them and let them know that I have 4 sessions set up for them, and that I also want them to fill out some background information about themselves because they don't know each other. And I've kind of picked them by random. They're members of my group on school.com on the Mastermind Blueprint. And basically, I want them to tell others about what they're doing, where they're at, how far they're in their development of their business, because these people have all have their own businesses, and we're going to get a feel for where they're at and how they can mingle together, so to speak. So I am also fill out another sheet where you can see on my screen here, it's called What's Cool About You. And this is a really nice document because this gives the person an opportunity to share something that they normally wouldn't say to somebody when they meet them in a business setting for the first time. However, let me tell you a story. One time I was down in Los Angeles back in actually 2004. I was there for a J. Abraham joint venture group, and there were, I think, about 600-700 people attending. So my friend Jeff and I, we saw this guy up front and we thought, wow, this guy is really smart. We'd love to have him in our mastermind group, because Jeff and I were thinking about starting our own mastermind group. And one of the things that I'll make the story a lot shorter now. One of the things that I did when we introduced each other, and after we got to know each other a little bit, he asked me some questions about me that made me tell more about me than I normally would have shared in a setting. So I said, he said to me, Alf, so what do you do? So I said, well, I do this. I work on this business card, RipCard, and what other things have you done? And then I started talking about my party promotion, which is very interesting. It's something I normally would never share, but I felt very comfortable with this person. So I shared how I actually was a pretty big party promoter in San Francisco. For 22 years, I've been doing it. So he said, wow, you did events at that level. And he kind of saw the contacts that I had in Silicon Valley. And he said, wow, Alf is an interesting guy. I would like to be close to him. At least so I felt. And the same thing with Jeff. He had worked for really big companies that was of interest to him as well. So we could both bring a lot of value to the thing. So when you start talking about things that are not something that you normally share right off the bat, it's something that they get to know the true color of who they're dealing with. And that's What's Cool About You document will do for you, because you start talking about some of your hobbies, some of the things you're passionate about, things to do for fun, what interests you have, what opinions you have, and maybe what causes you are supporting. It could be all kinds of things. So that's What's Cool About You. And you should do the same thing with your group as well when you start your own mastermind. So my goal here today is to help find the right people to be in your group, because you don't want people that are too dominating. You don't want people that are not good listeners. You don't want people that are not willing to help. You don't want people that are not growing and learning new things. You want all the opposite of that. Those are some of the core things we're looking for when we're building our mastermind. So this is my goal with this as well. I don't know how it's going to go with these 4 people. I'm hoping it's going to go well. I'm actually starting it today, and we're going to have 4 sessions, and I'm going to be call it a conductor. I'm kind of going to sit in the background a little bit, but I may help them to show them a little bit how I do it. So that's my goal with that. And what I get in return for them is feedback, how they like it, what I can do better, because I'm constantly learning too, even though I've done it for 25, 26 years. So it's all a give and take, because I'm doing this for free for them just to help them, and they help me. Yeah, so I'm, like you see here on my list, I'm open to feedback all the time. And that's exactly what I'm hoping to get from them. And they will also get from me, so that they can learn how to shortcut their learning process by decades by doing things right off the bat. Why have to go through it when you can learn from somebody like me? And that's where I'm hoping where you come from too. And where I'm going to dump a lot of stuff on you here today. So pay close attention, because you will actually know what to do, and you'll save a lot of time based on my experience and what we're learning here. And as you can see from my notes here, since this is the first time they meet each other virtually and online, where we meet by video, live video, I want them to also still introduce themselves a little bit. So today's meeting, it'll never go over an hour and a half. There are 4 people, they get 15 minutes each. We'll get to all those details in a little bit. But we want them to also introduce each other to maybe 2 to 3 minutes. So I'm going to be very direct about that. That's why I'm writing here 2 to 3 minutes, not 5 minutes, because people go on and on and on. And the person that's going to be the timekeeper going to have to be a little bit tough and say, hey, you got 2 minutes to say this. And a smart move here is to get them to open their mobile phone and start their timer so that they can say, hey, set the timer on 2 minutes. So they know as well. So if they go to 2.5, that's okay. But we don't want it to drag into 5 minutes. And that's one of the battles that I know I will fight today, because some of them want to talk and talk and talk, and they don't stay focused. So one of the things we do with the 15 minutes, even if we're only 4 people, we could have gone longer, because an hour and a half would be 20 minutes each, right? I think something like that. But if you're 6 people, it's exactly an hour and a half. And we stick to that. So anyway, that's a big takeaway right here, believe it or not. So we want to stick to the time, and also 15 minutes makes you more tight with what you're going to talk about, and also what you're going to share with the other people and what you want to get out of it as well. Okay, so that's really important. I call this the 15 minutes of fame. That's what I call this. Then, as you see in point number 4, I tell them they're welcome to jump in and add things when the other person is talking, but then it's going to have to be about them, not about you, unless it's directly related to what they're doing. Then you could give an example. So it's kind of a training process, because we don't want people to come in and budge in and talk about themselves and taking the time away from the person talking. But at the same time, if it's helpful for them, then it's good. But so that's a training thing that's going to be interesting to see how this group is going to handle it. But that's important. You got to pay attention to that. As a timekeeper, you kind of take on that role a little bit as well, where you teach them, say, hey, please stay on point with you. Tell us what we can help you with right now. You have the floor. And one of the things to combat that with is that you can have a chat session open at the same time. So you can either use Teams, which we happen to use right now. And for this group, I'm actually setting up a WhatsApp group. I kind of like that, because you can do a lot of things with WhatsApp these days. And WhatsApp, I think, is more prevalently used among people, and it's more checked during the day. So, and that's a specific goal with that, because then you have access to people during the week as well. And of course, you don't want to infringe on their privacy too much and everything during the week. But hey, we're a tight group. And the way I set up my mastermind groups, you'll see, and they're going over 20 years back, we're able to reach out to people during the week as well if there's something we want to follow up with. So this is an important point, to have the chat session, and then they could type something in or drop a link in while the other one is working, and while you also take notes. This is a key point. When the other people that are not have the floor, the 15 minutes of fame, they need to type down notes. Yesterday, I was in my other mastermind for Amazon. I'm typing notes like crazy while the others are talking, and I'm asking for links. What about this? What about that? Or I'm dropping in a link, say, have you thought about this? Or here's what I learned. So a lot of things happen in that session as well. And while I'm also taking notes, I also have an AI. I use the Hedy, Hedy, to do the transcript and the audio capture of the meeting as well. We don't record the video itself with Hedy, but I do that with another software. So you have it on video as well. But when you get the transcript and things to do and things that were said, that's also a big takeaway. Then I will also tell them or teach them the point number 5 here. I will teach them how to, you see, the first person that comes onto the screen first or logs into the room gets to talk first, and then 2 and 3 and 4 and so on. When somebody, let's say another guy came in position 4 and supposed to talk last, but he or she comments on something towards the end of that person's 15-minute of fame, and it's a natural flow. I say, hey, Ben, your 15 minutes is starting now. I, as a timekeeper, I will just say, let's flow with this person because it flows naturally into the conversation. And if he wants to go back to that person and ask more, he can do. But that way you keep the time running and the 15 minutes gets used up, because you want to make sure that we stay tight on that. And if it goes over a minute, minute and a half or two, it's okay, because you also don't want to ruin the gold and the nuggets that are shared in the room. So it's a fine line being a timekeeper, but you also got to be firm with it. And that's also why I tell people, start your own stopwatch, your timer, so that you see it in front of yourself too, because I give them a 2-minute warning as well. So you'll see what happens in a group like this, because things are happening fast and people are excited. They're talking about something that they may need help with, or something they learn and they want to share, and all of these things are going on at the same time. And I'll show you the document I'm using to help them focus on what they need to focus on as well. Guys, I'm dropping some serious, pardon my French, shit on you here today, because you're going to be able to do this yourself, and this is my goal, and this is why I'm here, and I'm excited. I guess goosebumps when I talk about this, actually. And I want you to really pay close attention here, because I'm giving you the insight of how I do this stuff. So my hope is that you become very good at it as well. Okay, so let's move on. Then of course we have number 6. You want to be active in the calls. You don't want to mute yourself off and double task and take care of your kids, or go get something to eat. No, when it's not your 15 minutes of fame, that is your most important time. This is when you need to pay attention. This is what, like I said earlier, this is when I take notes and I prepare questions when there's a gap or an opportunity to ask a question. So you definitely want to break all background noise. This moment when you're in the session for an hour and a half, you need to be present, and more present than ever when the others are speaking. How can you help them? Who can you connect them with? What can you learn from them? Even so, absolutely. And all of these things are very important. Take notes, follow up with them. What can you find out during the week that somebody's struggling with that you can help them solve? The more people you help get what they want, then you can have anything you want. Zig Ziglar, listen carefully, these guys knew what they're talking about. So this is more give than take. So give and thou shalt receive, as they say. Okay, and so in point number 7, I've written to myself actually, because I'm going to ask these guys, how do you think this works? Any suggestions? Is it too short? Is it too long? Should it be 20 minutes or should it be 10 minutes? I'm open to suggestions. What I found to work well is giving people a set time, otherwise it'll go over. And one of the things that I hinted to it earlier, if you go into the 2-hour mark and you don't stay tight with your clock, it's not going to be focused. You're going to get filler conversations and stuff like that, and that's not what we want. Sure, we do get to know each other on a personal level, so sometimes we talk about very personal things, but that's within your 15 minutes, and if you need help with it, go for it. One time I was sued. One of my team members had used an illegal image, and I'm not going to say which company or what have you. I went to my mastermind and I told them, hey, I got sued. What do I do? I got one piece of advice. Lawsuit went away, so to speak. And I'm not going to get into more details like that, but those are the kind of things that are very important to be able to tap into your group. So now, part 2, let's call it that way. Here's the format that I'm giving people to follow or use when they have their 15 minutes of fame. So the 15 minutes of fame is very important. This helps the person stay more organized on their talking time so that they can make the best out of that time, which is really, really important. So since we haven't started this group, in this case, accountability hasn't taken place yet. And this is kind of a volunteer thing, but somebody at the end of their 15 minutes, they could say, if you read all the way down here, declare one specific action that you want to take by next week. And this needs to be measurable, time-bound, and documented in your shared Google Doc. And you also need to score yourself how likely you are to complete that from 1 to 10. If you're anything less than 8 to complete it, then find something else that you can at least say with a certainty of 8 out of 10, or 1 out of 10, to be it being 8, sorry. so that you can make sure it's better to complete a task than and take on too big of a task that you don't complete at all. So progress is really king here. So, and the first thing that we talk about and that's a very specific reason I'm doing this too. You want to talk about a win. You want to talk about something positive, because like Sean Achor in a book called Before Happiness, he studied groups, and I highly recommend you reading that book as well. It's phenomenal. He talked about the people that are contributing the most and also starting on a positive note, then lifts the whole conversation to that level. So that's what we're going to talk about, the wins. We don't want to talk about the losses first or anything like that. You want to focus on those things. And the people that also helps the most are the ones that succeed the most in groups. So the ones that are giving the most receives the most. And it's I'll segue a little bit on that one too. He talked a little bit about who becomes a leader in a group. And in a mastermind, there's no so-called leader. There's majority rules. There's no conductor. There's no mentor. Everyone is a mentor to everyone. But the one that tends to speak first when you first meet in a group and contribute is usually the one that comes the unwritten leader, so to speak. It's kind of interesting to pay attention to how you end up in certain groups and how you talk with people, because it's not necessarily, and it's usually not the smartest person, easy for me to say, right? It's usually not the smartest person that becomes the leader in the group. It's the one that takes initiative, the one that speaks first. It's kind of interesting. They did a study of this at UC Berkeley. I've been referring to that in some of my other talks too, so I'm not going to bore you with it. Make sure you click on the link below to learn some about those things and see my other videos. Anyway, and subscribe and like the video too. So, we talk about the wins and what we've done recently so that we can let people know about that. Then if you need help with something, here's your chance. Here's what I'm struggling with, or what would you do with this? So you need to explain your scenario and the situation. And as we get to know each other better and better, we understand where they're coming from. We understand the product or the goal that they're going after with their company. And that's where we're learning more and more background on each other, as opposed to in a big group. You don't know diddly squat about the other person very often. That's why my 4 to 6 concept for the mastermind beats anything out there. And I've compared myself to Tony Robbins, which is God when it comes to being as sharp as he is and as effective as he is. But some of the groups that they're just too huge. People don't get to know you. So it's a whole different thing. I'm not dissing him in any way, shape, or form. I love the guy in terms of what he can teach and all of that. But I feel that my way of doing a mastermind is way more personal, and you have way more success with it down the line and going forward because you stick. Now, the groups that I'm in, one has lasted over 20 years, another one since 2012. We're now in end of 2025, going on almost 15 years. So you see how valuable that is. And I'll show you all kinds of things that I'm doing to keep the groups alive and all of these things. Too much to talk about here right now. Here today, I just want to give you the core concept so you know how to start one yourself. And I'm giving you the insight, the holy grail of my sauce here. So pay attention, okay? And I know you are. Then, of course, we learn things as we go through the week. Just like I dropped some value bombs for you too with Sean Achor and some of the insights I learned from the book. Let's say one of the members go on a seminar or for learning about SEO, or he learns the latest technique on YouTube, or he learns the latest thing on AI. Drop it. Think about those things and drop that value share inside the group. Yesterday, all kinds of things were shared on AI and image to video creation. What software are you using? How are you paying for it? Are you going inside a forum to pay for it, or you pay individually? Like one of the things I shared yesterday is something called FAL.ai, F-A-L.ai, where you can add money, you get to the bank, and you get access to all kinds of different LLM models to create video, images, text, all kinds of things that could help you. And I also learned some other stuff where they dropped value bombs for me too. So that's one of the things that very important too, because you want to give more than you take. And here's your opportunity to share something. Okay. Then you may want to state your priority, and that usually comes through your problem that you're looking for. You may want to state what it is that your goal is to fix that next time, or something you're going after, or so and so many emails going out, or what have you. All these things are important. And if you're smart, you use your group or one person in your group maybe as an accountability partner. I actually suggest finding one person in the group and say, hey, can you hold me accountable for this? You're more than welcome to do what I'm suggesting here. You can declare to the group that you want to be held accountable for so-and-so. You want to accomplish so-and-so by next time. And then you need to write it down. So it needs to be measurable, time-bound, and documented. And also that you need to believe that you can get it to. That's the 8 out of 10, right? That I talked about earlier. And here I've set up a actual spreadsheet for my for participants, and I have put some comments in here, and I'm not going to click on all of these things here, but here where they write down their commitments, they stipulate what it is that they are going to do to accomplish it, and they put it a deadline in as well. Then they will score themselves if they achieved it or not. Now we will build this out. We will have dates and everything, and I'll add new dates, but it'll actually be written down so other people can see what it is that they committed to, which is really key. If it's, there's another saying, what gets measured gets done. And here is an opportunity to do that. You write it down and you're going to keep it. Now, there's some tips for you here. If you saw the little plop up here, that you need to take action as soon as possible. I suggest even right after the mastermind call. If you take the first little step, let's say it's something that you needed to, it could be a personal thing. Let me just take up a personal thing. Let's say you needed to fix something in your shed that needs to move from one place to the other. If you can start taking the first step, maybe it'll take you 1 minute to do it. Go do that, prepare it. Just like yesterday, I needed to put up an advertisement, and I said, okay, let me at least go into Facebook and look at where I can place it. That's what I did yesterday. And guess what happened? This morning, I started getting messages because I didn't put my ad up, but I started putting in the chat saying I'm looking to do so-and-so. Somebody just texted me right before the call here right now and say, hey, I saw you posted something. Are you thinking about renting that out? It's something I'm going to rent out, a cabin. And that little example right there is a clear is a great example for you to follow. Take the first step. You don't need to do everything because it's heavy. I was like, I've been putting it off and putting it off for a long time because I need to put all this data together and this and that. And the videos and this and that and contracts. So I said, okay, let's put it up that I'm looking to rent it out. I just commented on somebody else's comment and look what happened. That's what I want to instill in you too. So if you have a commitment that you're going after, something that you want to be held accountable for, help yourself to become more successful. Take the first step. Actually, back in the day, I actually created an app called The First Step. I didn't succeed with it, but anyway, it's something I tried, right? Take the first step. Just do that. So today, my friends, I've shared everything I know how to start a group, put it together. A lot of other things I haven't covered with how to qualify them and all of these things, but hopefully you learned something and taken with you something really important here today, because you have in your hands right now the core thing that you can use in order to get your mastermind started. And I pray and I hope that you start looking for people that you can put in your group and stick to the 4 to 6 concept. Follow my lead on how you structure it, how you qualify them. We haven't gone too much into that, but how you help them go through the 15 minutes of fame, and follow these steps here. And follow it to as close as you can, because these things are based on 26 years of experience. A lot of my mastermind groups have blown up. A lot of things been happening, and which is what I've learned from, and I'm shortcutting the process for you here. So what I'm asking for you, subscribe, like, and comment on this video, please. And click on the link below if you want to ask me some more questions. I'm here to help you just as much as you are hopefully here to help yourself. And hopefully you like this video, so like it, right? And subscribe. And also look for me on School as well. The link should be right up top here in the beginning of the session. But most importantly, set up a time to chat with me, and we'll take it from there. And you can ask me any questions. I'm here to help you grow, and I'll see you on the other side. And here's my famous high five. See you on the other side.